And on that note...
I should try and move this slightly so I can see how long we've been recording so I can try and keep track of this.
We need to keep track of it.
See how long? In case we're starting to run at like the 2-hour mark, because you know that's probably gonna happen without.
We're not gonna fuck. If we have enough content for an hour, I will be surprised.
We will. I thought we would with Sailor Moon. We did.
Fair enough. Okay, so what is up, YouTube-verse? Clayton and Taylor here with another TITFAH, Two Idiots Talk for an Hour podcast.
Yes.
So today we're doing something Taylor suggested. And if it works out for us, I think we'll make it a monthly thing.
Yes.
So if you want to elucidate what we're doing
right.
for the nice listeners.
Right, so I was at work today, and Clayton's like, I hope you have something to know. I hope you have an idea for the podcast.
I didn't put it all on you. I was going to say put your brain meats. I said put your brain meats in gear so we can think of one.
Yes.
And then you're just like...
I had one, because I had one prepared, because I knew that you wouldn't have one.
Not for lack of trying.
Indeed. It's not easy to come up with these topics, surprisingly.
No,
but anyways, I reached back to an old V tradition on the four chins.
On the four chins?
On the four chins, because everyone there has four chins.
Fair enough.
It's a Friday night motherfuckers thread. Where we talk
Technically, it is Friday night when we're recording this.
Saturday morning.
You're close enough.
Whatever. It's a tradition. You talk about what you're watching, what you're gaming, what you're playing, what you're reading, what you're listening, what you're eating, drinking, fapping, and feeling, but we've omitted some of those.
We've omitted fapping and drinking because,
eating and feeling.
And eating and feeling. I mean, we can convey basics about some extraordinary
We can convey basic emotion.
We are real human.
Yes, we know. We consume water.
Do the Mark Zuckerberg things like
where he's never drank water before in his life.
Exactly, fucking lizard guy.
Alright, so here are our categories. We should be tackling them one at a time, but here
they're going to be somewhat. I think we're going to be somewhat loose with these categories, obviously. But
this is a chill podcast. Nobody's going to get any fights. I'm not going to call anybody worse girl. It's probably going to happen.
Of course it's going to happen. It always somehow happens.
Anyway, so we're talking about what we're watching, what we've been gaming, what we've been reading, what we've been listening to, and what we've been working on in our spare time. Because Clayton wants to talk about plans for the channel, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can talk. I mean, there's stuff you can talk about.
I do things too. I do things.
That's just what I'm going to end up talking about because that's what I've been working on.
We do things.
That's my time. When I work on things in my spare time, don't just waste it on playing video games.
You do things in your spare time besides the channel?
You have spare time?
You with your 14-hour work days?
Yeah, I know. It's hard work, but it's honest work.
Yeah, the oil rigs.
No, fuck no. No, I will never work on the oil rigs. I'm going to put that out there right now.
Big mood.
No, I just can't. Anyways, so the first one is, what have we been watching?
I will let you...
Shall I go first?
I'll let you start.
Alrighty, well... I'm not the best at remembering these things. We were going through it, too, ahead of time. The one
He made a bullet point. One single bullet point.
Yeah, one bullet point. The rest of it I'm going to have to ad-lib.
Oh, well.
This is gonna go amazingly.
It's a podcast. It's ad-lib. It's a podcast.
Let me just bring up my internet search history.
I don't want to know what you've been fapping, Clayton.
But no, the thing I've been watching I put most into recently was the first season of Mob Psycho 100. Now that may sound like some sort of psychological. No, take the name. It sounds like some sort of psychological thriller or something like that, a Mob Psycho or something like that. But really, it's an anime about a young boy who has overwhelmingly powerful psychic abilities, and he's being taken in by this. His name is Mob, by the way. That's where the mob comes from. It's his nickname, actually. Yeah, the boy's name is like I cannot remember the name for the life of me. It's a very Japanese name for sure.
I'd assume so. It's a Japanese boy.
Yes, but it's one of those names that's so Japanese it's hard to remember in my English-speaking mind. So, but the nickname he goes by is Mob, so that makes it easier, at least in that case. So he works for this. This fraud psychic, not really investigator, but he's like a fraud exorcist kind of thing, like that. You know, the type is like, well, you pay me this much, and I will do these things and get that. Thing is that he's actually really good at certain things. This psychic, like, he's amazingly good at massages. The massage thing is actually one of his things he offers as a way of exorcising evil spirits. It's like this amazing massage.
I think that he went into the wrong line of business. If you ask, this should have been an anime about massages.
But anyways, he's not the main
Masseuses, that's the
character.
word.
He's not the main character. Mob is. And Mob has, and throughout it, like the first couple of episodes, you see him just doing things along with the guy's name is Reagan.
Ronald Reagan?
No, Reagan Arataka. I remember that name.
Oh shit!
Only because part of his name is kind of English sounding. So yeah. I have an amazing memory.
Does Clayton is racist?
I am not. I just have bad memory. My memory is.
This is the second time I've made that joke today, and this is the second time he's given me that exact response.
No.
We'll not discuss that.
Moving further down the way, it starts off seeming like a kind of a goofy show, kind of like Powers and thing. I should mention, this is made by the same people who made One Punch Man, so if you've ever seen that, then you know just how off the wall you expect it to be.
That's Madhouse, isn't it?
I think Madhouse published it, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not sure, but I think Madhouse published this one? I actually am going to look this up.
I'm 99% sure that it is Madhouse. I doubt it's going to be on the Crunchyroll page.
No, but it might be in the opening credits.
Oh my god.
But the thing is that it's
let's make sure you don't accidentally...
Some of the faces you're seeing.
Let's make sure you don't accidentally start up the video so we don't get recording audio.
The heck? Come on.
For the love of God, just look it up.
No. Fuck it.
Just look it up on my anime
publisher is Warner Japan.
Oh my god.
But anyways, I'll look it up while I'm talking about it. It starts off seeming like a goofy show about, powers and stuff like that. But it goes further down the line, like not even a few episodes in, and it starts going where Mob is basically going through life going like, what am I doing with my life, kind of thing like that. I'm like this middle schooler who's spending all his time after school, all his free time working for a fraud. Well, he doesn't know he's a fraud. Throughout all this, Mob never catches that Reagan is a fraud.
Is Mob stupid, or is Reagan just really good?
Reagan is just that good of a bullshit artist. He really is. It's rather amazing, honestly. Because that's his, along with the fucking Animax is who does the thing. So
English Network. Studio Bones.
Bones. Okay, so Bones.
Interesting.
Okay, so anyways, yeah, Studio Bones does the show then. But anyways, where was I going? Along with the massage thing, he is an expert bullshit artist. Like if it comes to a fight where where it's talking, he will win every time.
He put all his points into charisma to use...
Exactly. And I guess massages must be part charisma, too, or something.
Here we go. His name is Shigeo Kageyama.
Mm-hmm. Shigeo Kageyama. And the thing is, there's a running theme through this here. There's a reason it's called Mob Psycho 100. Throughout that, he is... Basically, as shit stresses him out in his life... He has a meter that slowly goes up during the course of episodes, where he starts at 0, moves up a few points. When something worse happens, it goes up a lot of points. But the problem being is that the reason Shigeo, or Mob, or whatever you want to call him, is as dead. He also has problems with emotions, as you mentioned. He is a very dull-seeming person with no real emotion. He talks like this. He really does. This is how he talks in the English
Thanks,
dub.
ASMR Clayton.
That's the thing, is that he talks like that all the time. He seems so nondescript and just dead inside, but you'll find out, like, later down the road that he is actually, like, suppressing every single one of his emotions, because if he lets any of them get out, he basically explodes in uncontrollable power. So, and every now and then he will hit 100% and destroy whoever's attacking him. Or almost destroy them.
It sounds interesting. You did show me the first episode.
You remember how you said to me about at one point there that I really shouldn't just judge anime by the first episode thing? If some of them are good past the point?
I don't remember saying that.
I'm sure I remember you mentioning it.
Because honestly, in my absolute opinion, I think you can absolutely just judge an anime by its first episode.
Well, this is one where I say you can't. Because this is an anime that, like Mob's percentage meter, builds up over time. I wouldn't be surprised if they friggin' set it up to be like that.
Oh, probably. That's probably the intention of the original mangaka.
Probably. One is a very odd person. By the way, that's the name of the person who created both.
It literally says right there.
One.
We're at Wikipedia.
Yeah. One. Like, what is... That's the name we know. And the funny thing is that one's original mangas, as they were, for One Punch Man and Mob Psycho, were, like, they were the most grade school-looking drawn comics ever, really scratch quality. So everything you've seen for manga and for anime has all been remade by somebody else from his stories, basically.
He's all writing, no drawing kind of
But
guy.
that's the thing, is he did all this stuff in drawing and such, from what I understand.
It sounds like he should have gotten an artist, like a lot of mangaka do. Where they're a two-person team under one name.
I don't know. But anyways, that's basically been my big thing that I've been watching lately. It's I finished that out. What the hell?
I am checking. Oh my god, it is! I just noticed on the Wikipedia page, the guy who plays Mob in English dub is the guy who plays 9S in Nier Automata, and that is one of the best voice acting performances in all of video games, like, ever. It is so fucking good. I can commend it.
Does he play a good dead-voiced person?
No,
like this.
No, he has incredible range.
Does
like,
he have range?
it's amazing. I cannot begin to. I love
the thing.
This
I
is
like
not Nier
is
Automata.
that you would think going in that Mob Psycho is a shonen anime, very stereotypical thing, and parts of it are like he builds up his strength.
Yep.
But the thing is he also carries something in common with One Punch Man, and the fact that he is already fully powered. It's that, unlike One Punch Man, he's actually trying to hold himself back so he doesn't let that stuff out. But as soon as it does, he gets the badass anime protagonist, hair floating in the thing because he's so powerful, overpowered. Anybody tries to attack him, they can't do jack to him. Although he does actually get some hits taken in on him on later ones, so he isn't 100% invincible. He's an Esper, so he's not very physically capable. In fact, a part of a side thing is he joins a fitness club to get himself stronger. Throughout the entire first season, he is always seen being the last person, like, way behind the rest of them when they're doing running. He's like, dies.
He is a small middle school boy, to be fair.
And again, Espers generally aren't the most physically fit, although we do see a few for anime ones that are, but generally they're not, because it's all mental power stuff.
I would like to ask you this about the show.
Go ahead.
Does the tone and style vary much from the first episode?
Actually, it does. Like, what you saw there, because the first episode, I don't feel like this is too much of a
it's the first episode.
spoiler, it's the episode, is literally you meet the characters, mainly you meet Reagan and Mob, more than anything, and they go and they end up, you see their kind of dynamic between the two of them, and they go and exercise some ghosts and stuff like that. Now, I should mention something. If you remember correctly, did it seem like Reagan could see those ghosts?
I don't fucking remember.
He can't.
I mean,
Reagan's not able to see
right.
ghosts because he is a pure fraud.
Right.
But because he's such a good BS artist, Mob's never caught on. See, Mob Psycho, his powers are more telekinetic. He can't actually read minds.
Okay.
So that's the reason he hasn't figured it out yet.
Because my thing that was, I don't know, I could not jive with any of the characters. That's usually the in for me in terms of...
Well, the thing is that you only met a couple of them. There's a bunch more that...
Well, sure, but those are like the two main characters.
True.
And if I'm not like...
But not really. Not really, actually.
Oh, God.
Do you want to know something? Reagan actually stopped showing up for a few episodes in about the middle part there, and he shows up near the end for the big finale. I wish I could tell you of it, but there's that slight chance I might get you to watch it, and I don't want to ruin it for you.
I'm really not interested. Like, none of it sounds interesting to me.
I probably also shouldn't give a full spoiler to the first season.
That too.
That wouldn't be fair. But
I don't know. It still sounds like nothing very interesting to me. It's just not my jam.
And you know what? It isn't for everybody, I'm sure. It took
show
me
is.
multiple... I think I watched that first episode about 4 times before I actually went further. Because, and that's actually something I was looking at, doing what you're not supposed to do, looked in comments and stuff.
Oh, God.
Underneath episodes. And I'm not the only one. There's tons of people who are judging it purely by that first episode. And we're happy that they kept going instead of just dropping it. So... But I have gone on enough, I think, about that. I've taken up 15 minutes. Where's your 15 minutes?
Oh my God! Look at that. You were worried we wouldn't have an hour. Any other watching, or are you passing the baton?
Nothing really noteworthy. I mean, I did watch a bunch of Frasier. There. That's a good old series. There, good, clean humor with a tad dash of what's the word I'm looking for? Pompous.
That's good. I have not watched a ton of Frasier,
but you know the pompous
yes.
is there for sure. So yeah, no. Otherwise, that's about all I've really watched in any great amount. Anyways, I've watched lots of episode here and there of things, but that's about it.
I've mostly been watching anime myself because I'm a ginormous weeb.
That's what you are. Oh well.
The most recent show I've started watching, and I've mentioned this to Clayton, is I've started watching. I can't remember what the fucking Japanese title is. It's Chinibyo Demo Gitai something something something. It's Love Chinibyo and Other Delusions.
Mm-hmm.
From my waifu in studio form, KyoAni. Kyoto Animation. If Kyoto Animation was a person, we shall not get into it. We shall not get into it. Anyways, before I start sucking the show's dick.
Yes. By the way, Chinibyo Demo Koi ga Shitai.
Right. There we go. So the show is about a guy. He's going into high school, and he's trying to leave his embarrassing, disgusting Chinibyo life behind him. With his it's literally in the article, Clayton.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to the proper one. Continue talking.
Anyways, he wants to leave his weird delusional Chinibyo life behind him.
Did you explain? Sorry, I wasn't fully paying attention. Did you explain what Chinibyo means?
No, it's a weird difficult phenomenon.
Give them the proper meaning of
On
the word.
Wikipedia is a Japanese colloquial term that translates to middle school second year syndrome or eighth grader syndrome. Typically used to describe early teens who have delusions of grandeur. They want to be rocks. They want to stand out, or they've convinced themselves they have hidden knowledge or secret powers. Basically, when you're pretended back in middle school, when you pretended that you were that you were Naruto, and that was it. That's like the Japanese form of that.
And the idea of Chinibyo being is that you never stopped, basically.
Yeah.
I should mention that might be the case for two people sitting in this room. I'm not sure.
I'm not that chuny. I'm really
kind
not.
of.
I have a little bit of chuny, I will admit, but I think it's because all my life I've just been a little bit chuny. So it's just.
I'm sorry. I can't even deny.
No, you are.
I collect swords.
Yes.
So go ahead.
But anyways, this guy's going to high school and he wants to stop being chuny, so he puts all his old embarrassing stuff behind him, and then he starts to encounter other Chinibyos who have not abandoned their delusions.
Well, most specifically the girl, Rika.
Rika, yes, who is best girl. This is unambiguous. And they form a budding friendship that might turn into romance, depending on whether or not the light novel decides to do anything. Though apparently it's finished, according to the Wikipedia, with only 4 volumes, which is very short for a light novel.
That makes it easier to read.
Indeed. And he starts to meet other people, and he comes into contact. Episode 4 provides a very interesting twist, where one of the characters that he has met, it turns out that they were a Chinibyo also, and it's just a comfy, funny slice of life anime, like KyoAni always does, which is half of their shows, 2/3 of KyoAni's shows are just guy joins a high school club, but. And then there's
they're very big on the high school angle of things, although every anime does.
Fair enough,
just about.
And there's a quirky twist to every single one, like Haruhi. It's guy joins a high school club, but everybody's full of early 2000s harem character stereotypes. And this one is a guy joins a club, but everyone's a Chinibyo, and also one girl really likes to nap.
Well, I mean, as you do.
She naps everywhere. She constantly naps. She's a very entertaining.
Are we sure she's not narcoleptic?
I don't know. But she says that, I can't remember what she has a very memorable line in the 3rd episode. I can't remember what the hell it is because it's such a good line.
It's such a memorable line. What was it again?
I feel it's 3 in the morning, man. Give me leeway here. Give me leeway. And so I recommended it to Clayton, and tell me your experiences watching the 1st episode.
Must I?
Yes. Regale us with
I've watched 2 episodes.
Oh, you watched 2, right?
Yes. I don't know that I can watch it because first and foremost it hits a little too hard into reality for Clayton.
I think that's one thing that would prevent a lot of people from watching it because they see themselves, they immediately see it, it's oh shit,
the cringe is real. I'll just say that
it pierces through all levels of reality to it's a universal experience of cringe.
I mean, I was never. I'm still nowhere near as bad as a lot of people could be.
Yes.
I never ran around the Naruto run or just call myself the Dark Flame Master, is what the main character does.
Which is incredibly so goddamn funny. Also, the main character is voiced by Jun Fukuyama, who's
But-
fantastic, and he's also in Persona 5. He voices.
I'll admit that I'm more of a collector type Chinibyo.
Yes.
Because I've over time I have my swords, of course. I just like swords. Swords are cool. But I should add to the fact that I also at one point owned a pair of the fingerless Naruto gloves.
Oh my god!
Yep. Fake shitty pleather gloves with the metal plate on the back end, the back of them with the symbol. It was.
To be fair, you did watch Naruto.
Oh, I love Naruto. It's actually a really good anime, to be fair.
I will never watch it.
Yeah, you're just so fucking underground. You're so deep underground. You get your ass buried.
Yes,
is all it is, and you don't know what's going on.
That's fine.
Just because an anime is mainstream, I'm putting it out there. Just because an anime is mainstream does not make it trash.
That's fine. I mean, Haruhi at its time was one of the most mainstream anime ever. That Haruhi is the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya is my favorite anime of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I should say that. And at the time, it was fucking so incredibly popular. The Hara Hara Yukai dance was like the biggest thing in the fucking universe, and now nobody talks about it. It's dead. It is a dead franchise.
And that brings in the other thing. I'm not the only one who did this.
No.
I learned how to do that dance.
Yes.
By practice. I don't know it anymore. It's been years.
That's commendable, Clayton. That's wonderful. Why would that be cringe?
Because it's still chinny.
Not really. It's just weeby.
Well, still a little.
It depends on the dance. If it's the Hara Hara Yukai...
How much do children love mimicking things they see on TV?
A lot.
So therefore, it kind of...
I don't say it. It's childish,
it's still
sure.
Cringy.
It's childish and weeby. I don't see it as cringy, but that's because I'm too full weeb at this point. I'm too far
You might
gone.
not be the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Objective viewer?
Yes. So, Love, Chinibyo and Other Delusions is very, very good. The only other thing I've been watching very, very recently is I recently rewatched, because...
Porn. No.
We got Clayton. I thought we got rid of the Fatman category.
Sorry, continue.
I recently rewatched Blade Runner 2049 because I needed something entered dark and moody to have in the background while I grinded in the game that I'll be discussing later.
Mm-hmm.
And Blade Runner 2049. Holy shit! I forgot. Like that movie it just hits you on like an emotional and intellectual and like it's a spiritual experience. I hate to like hype up the movie so much because
that's the sequel to
the original Blade Runner.
Okay,
yes,
so it's, okay.
This one it has Ryan Gosling in it and
real talk. I've never watched either of them.
No, of course you have. One day I will make you.
It's not for lack of interest. It's just the fact that it's never been high on the list, and I feel like it should be, but it never gets put there because I forget.
Blade Runner, the first one, they're both very weird movies. Like, the first, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this. They're very still movies. There's not a whole lot of, like bursts of action. It's still...
Which is the best, what movies kind of need to keep my attention.
Yes.
Action or comedy.
Which neither of them really... Blade Runner 2049 probably has more action. It is, like, a longer movie by, like, at 40 minutes or so, too. Like it's paced very differently. The first Blade Runner is weird. It's supposed to be like a
I think, isn't it meant to be weird? Isn't that basically
kind of? But it's more meant to be a traditional cyberpunk neo-noir detective movie. And there's basically
that's a lot of things to stick together, so but you can't expect it to flow.
Detective is the one that doesn't flow because there's basically no detectiving in the entire fucking movie.
Isn't the main character a detective?
Yes, but there's no actual detectiving done. He occasionally...
No, see, he's the detective. That's all you need to put the word detective in.
I will take your word for it, Mr. Cyberpunk Detective Neo-Noir Expert.
It's a harsh field, but it's honest work.
Like Blade Runner, the first one, it's a mess of a movie in a lot of ways because there's basically no plot. Like a lot of shit just sort of happens. It's really weird.
Is there not no plot, or is there too much plot?
There is no. I'd say there's not enough plot.
No. Okay.
It's.
How do you have not enough plot but not have like action to fill in the spot?
Mood setting.
Usually that's what happens. Is if there's not enough plot, it's because they put more action to.
No, it's like mood setting. I have a feeling you would not like the movie, but I will still make you watch it. And the thing about
I'll probably watch it.
But 2049 improves upon it in basically every way. It is significantly more moody. The characters are better overall. There's actual like chemistry between like the main love interest, but in the first movie, Harrison Ford and Sean, there's no fucking chemistry. They hated each other. It is notorious on set they fucking despised each other. Like, nobody on set apparently liked each other. Like, Ridley Scott and Harrison Ford, Ridley Scott, who directed the movie, like, they hated each other.
It doesn't help that I think that Harrison Ford has been a grumpy old man since before he was a grumpy old man.
Yeah, he probably came out of the womb a grumpy old man.
Don't get me wrong. He's one of my favorite actors, for sure. He's a damn good actor.
In some things.
Yeah.
In Blade Runner 2049, he gives probably his best performance I've ever seen out of him. He's actually really, really good.
I'm sorry, he's always Han Solo to me, and that'll always be an amazing performance.
Well, sure, but it's very, very different characters.
True.
Deckard in the first movie is a very similar character to Han Solo in a lot of ways. There's some
Didn't it come out after Star Wars?
Yes.
So they probably were like, here you go, do that thing you did.
But slightly different.
Exactly.
But in the second movie, he's a very different character.
Be Han Solo, but this time there's no Star Wars, it's only a bunch of, like, what is it, Reploids or whatever the hell they call it? Replicants. No, Reploids is from Mega Man X. Replicant. There's like these robots that are running away from lawns.
But they are not. They're not robots. They're genetically engineered humans.
Whatever works for you.
Here, this is the weirdest thing for me. I think I've encountered a fucking case of the Mandela effect because I watched the movie and I was like, they mentioned like in like the opening sort of text of thing to explain the background that they're genetically engineered humans, and I was like, I thought they were robots.
I mean, that's what I figure.
And then, yeah, it turns out I've been Mandela affected the whole time.
I wonder if anybody else has been.
Probably other people. We all came from the same alternate universe. That's how that works, right?
Sure. Sure.
But Blade Runner, there's actual detective work in Blade Runner 2049. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a plot, there's a mystery. It's like, oh shit, like, there's a thing that it shouldn't have happened, but it did. We need to find out why it happened. And I'm trying to be vague, because it's a great movie, and everyone needs to see it. And you need to see it unspoiled. I cannot begin to.
I think you've gotten your point across. Don't.
I'm flailing my arms.
He's flailing his arms like Kermit the Frog.
The only other thing I can say about the movie is that it's like I was not expecting to be just like overwhelmed with human emotion. But
yes, human emotion is an alien thing to you.
Yeah, was like it's a depressing fucking movie. Like it's about. Here's the best way I can describe it. Imagine like knowing that you mean absolutely nothing, that everyone who ever loved you wasn't real, and that like everyone who didn't love you, who just knew you, was just using you your entire life. Imagine being so small and so irregardless.
You know who does that?
What?
Synth. I'm sorry, but it just came to my mind. The synths from Fallout 4. They're basically replicants.
Of course they are.
They're being manufactured by a shadowy institute, literally called the Institute.
It's not actually. It's not that shadowy in
But you get what I mean.
Yes.
Goodness.
Well, yes, it's because Fallout 4 is terrible.
I should mention,
and the writing
I did think
is
of
not
one
good.
other thing I'd watch. I'll make it quick and painless.
Sure, good.
If you were done with your...
I basically got the whole thing through. It's dehumanizing. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a dehumanizing
maybe it's
movie.
trying to be.
That's the whole point.
Yes.
Except for the ending, which manages to provide a single note of hope. And it's wonderful, and I love it. It's a great movie. 10 out of 10. Everyone watch it.
On that note, I actually watched during this, since we're doing this as a month in review kind of thing. Yes. I watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and I'm not the only person who thinks that movie was phenomenal. It got awards. So
I think it won best animated
picture. I think
it
yes.
Did.
And
the Oscars, rather.
And the fact being is, I'm not going to waste too much time on this because we're still on the first topic.
Yes.
And half an hour.
You thought there wouldn't be enough time.
I forget just how wordy we are.
Yes, we are.
Anyways, the fact is that I highly recommend the movie for people, even if you're not a fan of Spider-Man.
Yes.
I say go and watch it because the art style they used to animate it is insanely good and very stylized.
That's the one thing that is interesting me in the movie. It looks fucking boring, but that's like, oh, this is an interesting art style. I like this animation.
Yeah. You're too much of a weeb to enjoy superheroes, but I grew up on superheroes, so it's a bit of a different thing.
Fair enough.
So for me, Spider-Man is a big thing for me, and actually it focuses more on Miles Morales, the black, he's African American / Hispanic, yeah.
Even I know that.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Enjoy the one nugget of knowledge you know.
Oh my God.
This was a very with sarcastic pat on the shoulder.
Yes. That was not Clayton poking my cheek.
Why would I poke your...
It might come across that on the recording, sir.
Anyways. Yes, because poking a cheek makes a noise that's... Just anyways, so, going along with it, I'm not going to obviously get too far into it because I really think that
Half an hour later.
I think that everybody should watch the movie and at least watch it at least once. We get into the fact is that the reason that art is like that, and the only thing I will say is that because if you see the thing, you're going to know there's multiple Spider-Man characters.
They advertise it.
They advertise
it's on the cover of the DVD and all that.
They're literally Spider-Man or women from other universes. And that style, I feel they kind of did that way to work really well with the fact that at points they are still out of phase with the universe they're in. So every now and then they'll glitch out, and it works. It fits so perfectly in with everything else around it. Mm-hmm. But it's like every part of it almost could be taken. You could drop it as like a work of. Or you could drop it right there. That's a painting right there. It can almost feel like that. You could say it's like a modern art painting kind of thing. Just, sometimes there's Spider-Man.
That's modern art, Clayton. It's Spider-Man.
It's modern. So there you go.
And I don't know. Is it art? That's not something for today.
That's a whole nother 5 hours worth of talking right there. So I'd say I'm good with that. I definitely recommend watching Into the Spider-Verse. It is an amazing movie.
Well, alrighty, what have we been gaming?
What have we been gaming? Everything. No. Let me see. I always fall back. I'm a person who... I have kind of mood shifts with my gaming and stuff like that. I'll play those things. I have 4 callbacks I usually go to, old standbys. If I'm feeling console gaming, I'll fall back to good old Bethesda classics, Fallout and Skyrim. But if I'm on my computer, I like to play Darkest Dungeon or XCOM 2. And the reason I like all 4 of those is the reason that Taylor shakes his head at. They can all be modded.
I'm vigorously shaking my head. My head is being shook.
He's really not. He looks like he's having a spasm.
I'm having a fucking seizure. The mods. The mods.
You do not understand the goodness that is mods. After you have defeated
an excuse for people to not finish a fucking game?
The game is finished. The game is finished. Here it is. No. Stop.
Oh my god.
You're going to listen. Clayton has the floor.
I told you we'd argue!
Clayton has the floor.
I told you it'd happen.
Mods are there for... people use them in different ways. The idea of a mod is to be used after the fact. Play the game through. Do it vanilla. That's perfectly fine. After that, play through with some modifiers. Throw some stuff on to mess around with it. It's just like think of it as a new game plus. Basically, is how it works. I always try to play a game vanilla before I throw mods on it, first and foremost.
But it's not the intended experience.
Are you sure about that? Isn't the intended experience to just enjoy the game? And in that sense, wouldn't adding the mods still mean that you're enjoying the game?
I feel we're gonna get into I'm gonna get into a big game direction rant about how most games are very...
Okay, how about we sideline the mod talk for now? And we'll leave that for something else another day.
I'm going to start murdering Clayton soon.
No, you won't. Anyways, so how about I'll just give a quick, brief synopsis of the 4 main games I end up going back to. I have a bunch.
Give us the elevator pitch.
I have those 4. I have others that I like to pop to every now and then, but these 4 seem to always I keep coming back to. First and foremost, 2 of them, anyways, I don't need to really go heavily into is because it's Fallout 4.
Everybody knows them.
And Skyrim. Everybody knows Skyrim. Even if you haven't played it, you know
Grandmothers
Skyrim.
play Skyrim.
Literally, there is a grandmother that plays Skyrim.
We were talking about that earlier.
She is an awesome
She's going
lady.
to be in the news. She's going to be in Skyrim 6, guys.
Elder Scrolls 6, you
Skyrim 6!
I'm going to punch you.
Skyrim 6!
I'm going to add a punching sound effect to make it sound like I punched you. But... Shirley Curry?
Shirley Jackson.
I thought it was Curry.
No. Shirley, I'm pretty sure it's Shirley Jackson. I'm just gonna fucking Google it.
You look it up. I'll continue talking.
You continue.
Anyways,
I'm just gonna do
both of those are
keyboard's too far away. Keep going.
Both of those are Bethesda classics now because especially Skyrim. Skyrim came out 2011. And
that was almost 8 years ago this year.
Can you just type it not talking to your phone? Because I know you're getting ready to talk
I'm not. I'm trying to open up YouTube.
Oh, okay. You look like you're getting ready to talk to your phone. It's like, here's Google or whatever. So yeah, those are great ones there. Everybody, Skyrim because it's a really good open world fantasy game. You don't have to, you're not really...
Shirley Curry, you were right.
It is Curry, okay, I thought I was right.
Apologies, sir.
And I wonder who Shirley Jackson is then.
She's the horror writer
Is she
from like the 50s and 60s. I
Okay.
realized who I was mixing up with.
Fair enough. Anyways, I'm not even going to bother going further on Skyrim. And Fallout is the post-apocalyptic version of Skyrim, basically, with a few newer features and stuff like
Something
that.
Skyrim with guns.
And to be fair, basically, a lot of people don't like Fallout 4, but I noticed that ever since 76 came out, the hate transferred from so many people.
The hate train moved to another station, as it were.
Yep. Oh, give it a little more time. They'll be remembering Fallout 4 fondly.
76, you mean?
No, 4. 76 will never be remembered fondly.
I get what you're saying.
They foobarred that one 100%.
Of course they did!
I tried to be nice. I tried to give it a chance, but I just can't.
I don't
So
know.
going from there, the other two that I will talk more about is XCOM 2 and Darkest Dungeon. XCOM 2 is a strategy, an action strategy. I don't know if it's really action. It is turn-based strategy.
Yeah.
It's a military one there, so it's not like fantasy or anything. It is literally...
Well, it's science fiction.
It's sci-fi, but you're playing as military units that go after aliens.
The official term for that is military science fiction, actually.
Okay, then. Anyways.
My science fiction genres.
Actually.
Hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
And, of course, I'm going to say something quickly here. We won't get into it. I just want to say quickly. Is that it does have... For people who are like me, who like mods, there are a whole mess load of them for that game where you can get voice sets to make your own characters. Because in this game, you can create your own characters.
Yes.
This is actually part of the game.
You could kind of in XCOM 1, but it does not seem to be as in-depth
This one,
as in XCOM 2.
In XCOM 2, it's very in-depth. And, I mean, people have created stuff from... You can make it so you can play as, like, characters from Mass Effect.
Yep.
Like, literally aliens, too. Like the Krogan and stuff like that. And I think that's an interesting touch and such like that. They have a whole bunch of... They have shit like Star Wars and not much Star Trek, actually.
Interesting.
It's, I don't know. I guess there's not as much you can really glean from it, except maybe the outfits.
Yeah.
The weapons, kind of, but they... But, yeah,
Well,
Star Wars has a bigger plethora of...
It fits
stuff
the
in it.
tone better, I guess.
It does. It really does. Grittier, I guess you could say. Star Wars is actually a fair bit grittier than Star Trek.
Depending on the film.
It's dirtier fantasy, let's put it.
Yeah, okay.
Sci-fi, I should say.
We discussed this in our previous podcast, guys.
Check it out. Nowhere, because I'm not putting a link on screen.
We're too fucking lazy.
But, yeah, I'll leave it on that one there. It's actually really, even if no mods, all vanilla, it is a very, very challenging tactical game. Like, it's a game where you will lose characters. If you make one wrong move, an alien will flank your character, blow them to crap, and you're down a character, finishing the mission harder.
I experienced that many times in XCOM 1.
Exactly. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's still like that. You just have a few more options to work with. And now, going on to the other end of things, I go to Dark Souls side-scroller. Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon's meant to be a grimdark kind of game like that,
I
Dark
suppose in
Souls.
terms of aesthetic and like setting, Bloodborne would be more accurate.
Actually, you're probably right on that, Bloodborne. Although, again, on the mod thing, people have made character classes based off of some of the more well-known characters from Dark Souls.
That makes sense.
Artorias and such like that. So, but going from there, and there is that it's you choose your hale and hearty band of 4 characters in any range. There, the vanilla ones are things like a crusader, a bandit, a vestal, which is like basically a priestess. She can heal and such. Plague doctor, things like that. And you try to make a good cohesive team that can make it through going through dungeon. It's a dungeon crawler.
Yes.
Basically. And you try to make it so you can go through dungeons and such like that and not get horribly destroyed. Because again, your characters ain't coming back if they die. In fact, they literally have a disclaimer in the beginning of the title screen saying that this is a simulated game where people will die. Do not get attached to your characters. So what do? I go and get attached to my characters and lose them.
I mean, they even go to the trouble of establishing what kind of tone they want. Like they make sure that you know exactly what you're going to get out of this game, and then you fuck it up anyways.
Oh yeah, I think that's to be expected. The thing
probably.
is, and again, I will say for modding situations, people have been really amazing creative. I mean, we have some slutty characters there, of course, with the little to no clothing. Of course, people are going to create that stuff.
I'm shaking my head, fam. Horny on main, more like horny on dead.
Sure. Anyways,
more like fucking die.
No. Anyways, but going from there, they have actually made, some of them have made
I'm
actually...
slut-shaming everybody here.
There are some that have worked on actually making canonically fitting characters that work well within the thing. I should mention, this is not just Grimdark, it's Cthulhian.
Yes.
Like, it is within the, it is a Geiger type... Is it Geiger? No.
Lovecraft.
A Lovecraft, sorry. It's a Lovecraftian type of world.
It's not, as I was going to say, what I've seen doesn't really look like Geiger at all.
Ancient gods and tentacles abound. But, it's not that kind of game.
More Lovecraft light then, I suppose.
It kind of is, yeah.
Because that's what most games go. They don't really take the implications that Lovecraft is fond of. They just have like old gods and tentacles and going mad.
But anyways, like I say, if you're like me, you like the mods. Some of them have come up with very well-balanced, cohesive characters that add to the game, and they work quite well in the situation. Of course, some people have just made way too overpowered ones.
Yeah.
They've also made some cool, some interesting ones. I like just as kind of cameo stuff, like they've made the ones from Dark Souls.
Yeah.
They made Geralt, and he's actually a really good character. They've made 2 versions of Link. The latest one's actually really good quality. He actually works quite well. He's very balanced. There's one more. Oh, Guts.
That makes perfect sense.
Guts fits perfectly in
yeah.
this setting. He really does. Link actually really shouldn't.
No, Geralt even doesn't fit that well.
Geralt, I can see it. Geralt comes from a pretty gritty universe. It's not as gritty as this.
I suppose I'm thinking in terms of like the books, like the original short
Yeah,
stories.
fair enough.
They're a very weird tone. It's hard to describe.
Of course, the one they're basing it off is obviously the video game version.
Which is definitely more accurate to, the Darkest Dungeon bullshit.
But yeah, I think I've taken up enough of my time on this one for gaming. What have you been playing, good sir?
I've only been really playing a couple of things.
You're not much
recently.
of a gamer. What are you doing on Geek Gamer Alert?
Clayton is GeekGamerAlert shaming me.
Why are you gay?
Then who is gay?
Who is gay?
I am not gay. You are not gay?
Mr. Taylor. Is it Mr.?
Can I call you Mister?
You should probably explain for the listeners what the hell we're doing.
Okay, so there's this I think it's some African country. It's a guy, he's interviewing another guy, and he thinks he's gay, and he's very, he's like, it's a news program, and he's very, very fucking confused by this. And apparently...
Both sides were confused.
Yeah, the guy, apparently he's straight. He's not having sex currently, and the guy was also confused by this to some extent. Like, everybody was so confused on every side of this. But the guy being interviewed is like, no, I'm a man, I'm straight. But he's an advocate for gay rights in the country. So, which is, I'm assuming, where he thought that, oh, this guy's gay. He likes the gays. He's gay.
Like to think. I want to think that the interviewer was actually trying to get
he
the
absolutely
understanding
was.
of it, but because of tone of voice and such, and sometimes accent kind of messes stuff up. It really, the part that gets me literally is after he like introduces, he's like, so why are you gay? just so matter of factly asks the question.
He's like, I'd like to know that. I'd like to have an answer to this. Anyways,
gaming.
So yes, I've been playing shit recently, but the 2 major ones is because like you, I have the sort of the things that I fall back on that changes regularly.
It's always good to have regulars just to go back to.
But the 2 biggest ones I've been playing are both Megami Tensei games because I'm turning into a weeb.
It is really my fault. He was nowhere near interested in the SMT franchise.
I approached him at work and I was like, "So, would you recommend Persona 5? I can hear you fuck your teacher in it."
Was that what you said? I don't think it was 100%.
I think it was basically that was the thing that interested me. It's like, oh, you can actually like have sex with your teacher. I was like, I'm fucking in.
You can't really actually, I should mention, but
well, I mean, you might.
It's implied.
It's heavily implied, which is fine enough for me.
She gives you massages, lots of massages.
Yes.
Whether there's a happy ending or not, well, yeah, who knows?
He's very energized afterwards. I don't imagine. Anyway,
spoken like a true person who's never had sex.
Clayton is reverse kink shaming me.
I know, just holding down my alpha weeb status here.
Alpha. That's not something.
The true alpha.
That's not something to be proud of. Anyways, so I've been playing Persona 2: Innocent Sin, which is the first in the Persona 2 duology, because technically there's 2 Persona games, so there's actually 6 Persona games, even though there's 5 of the Persona title.
Shorten it down, or else we'll be here all day trying to describe this crap.
Anyways, it's a really fun game. It's more like Persona 1. It's more traditional dungeon crawling sort of stuff with less. But the thing is it's a fan translation of the original PS1 game, which only recently came out. because they've never released the original PS1 version.
Yeah.
Only the PSP remake.
Well, there's literally, I think they literally released one in Japan and one in Western world. I don't think they released the Western one in Japan.
Nope, the remake's in Japan.
Like, originally, I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, on PlayStation, I don't think the second one was in Japan. I think it was made in Western world.
No, it was.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought I remember that being that way.
Anyways, so that's really fun. And then I'm also playing Digital Devil Saga, which is apparently not actually an SMT, Shin Megami Tensei game.
It's another offshoot like the Persona series.
Yes. But that's really fun. There's a lot of Hindu themes to it. That's just like all the other Megami Tensei stuff, just thrown in there.
All the SMT stuff, whether it's an offshoot or the main series, all seem to take from a lot of mythology and belief systems from the
Earth,
the rest of the world,
from the Earth, man.
Everything from Hinduism and to even Christianity. And
in
stuff
Persona
like
5 is a lot of weird shit that's kind of thrown together. Persona 4 is Japanese. Persona 3 is Greek.
What?
Persona
3 is Greek, I guess, isn't it? Yeah.
It's Greco-Roman, I guess.
Yeah. 5, I'd say, would be more akin
it's kind of Gnostic.
Christianity. Is it Gnosticism?
It's Gnosticism.
There's a bit of Christianity, I think, in that, too.
There's vague references, but no, it's mostly Gnostic.
Gnosticism, I say, yes.
My familiarity with first century belief systems in the Roman Empire is staggering. It's staggering. I had big brain disease over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't let it hit the door on the way up.
Anyways, both are very, very fun, and I have been enjoying them. And it is, I don't know, it's weird to see me get into JRPGs. I never thought I would. I blame you.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty much to blame for that. That's fine. So
I say that's it for that.
That's all for that.
That's all for that.
Next up is what have we been reading? This is going to be a very short one for me and a very long one for you.
I'll try and keep it brief because most of the shit I've been reading is weird.
Allow me to go first. Let me get mine out of the way. I haven't really been reading much. Okay, go.
That's it?
I know. I've been reading some manga a lot lately. I like to read those just sideways times and stuff. I'm keeping
sideways times? What the fuck is sideways times?
In between.
Okay. I've never heard that turn of phrase before.
It's because I just made it up. Stop sidetracking.
Word shaming
Stop
you?
sidewaysing me, damn it. Anyways, I keep up with a few of them. One of them being, of course, the what the hell is it? You know that anime I was totally into a year ago. Overlord. The manga it's an interesting situation where the manga is actually catching up to the anime because obviously the anime is based off of the graphic novel.
The light novel.
Why did I say graphic? Light novel, right?
You fucked up your Western and your Jap. Yes. Well done.
Hey, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Give me some slack.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I won't shit you up.
Other than that, I've read a few things here and there, but nothing really too amazing. I probably need to read more than I actually do.
There you go.
I'm a little ashamed of myself, but not enough to care. So I'll let you go on with your thing.
For the longest time I've been low on my reading myself, but I'm starting to actually catch up on things. I'm also reading occasional manga. I was prompted by the somewhat recent movie, which I saw like a month or two ago. Alita Battle Angel. I'm currently
watch a month or two ago. This was weeks ago, wasn't it? It was only in theater a few weeks ago.
I think it was like like a month ago. Let's say it was like a month ago.
Sure, why not?
Anyways, I watched Alita Battle Angel. It's a great movie. I didn't discuss what we're watching because I didn't think it was within our time limit, and I wanted to,
Yeah.
And anyway, so I'm reading the manga Battle Angel Alita, which is also really, really good, and it's fantastic fucking artwork. Like, it's gorgeous, and it's pure 90s sci-fi pseudo-schlock. It's great. It's fucking fantastic. And I think that the English name of Alita is better than Gali, because Gali is stupid, and that's the name of a Bionicle.
It's true.
It is. I know.
True. The water Bionicle.
Yes, from first gen.
Mm-hmm. So, the only female one I might mention too.
In the first gen, anyways.
Yeah, well, first gen's the only one that matters. What are you talking about?
Let's not discuss this. This is
for a different day.
We'll save our
Hey, what do you know? We're coming up with all sorts of ideas for it.
Yes.
Continue.
I've also been reading after being lazy and not reading it for a while, or at least wanting to read it and not reading it. The Evangelion manga adaptation, which is kind of interesting in that they start about the same time, and one is not the source material of the other. They're just like, the manga is kind of based off the anime, but they're more like from the same starting point, and then they just went off from there, and they kind of go in their own weird directions because it's Evangelion.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that's it for manga. I've also been reading some light novels. Well, one anyways. I've been reading the volumes of Konosuba that the anime is not adapted yet. There is a movie, of course, coming out, which I'm very excited for. It's adapting the 5th volume, which is fucking great. Like, it's really good, and I'm excited to see it. And I recently started reading the 6th volume, wherein Kazuma gets kidnapped by a princess. And he also wants to have a little sister, and this princess is 12 years old. He's like, like the star of the light novels. I really want to have a little sister, guys. Like, that's all he wants. He's like, here, everybody else is an archetype. I don't have a little sister archetype. That's his argument. Because Kazuma is fucking retarded.
Wait, is that why he's so nice to Megumin? He was trying to make her his little sister or something, or what?
No, I can't remember what the hell he says. Right, he says that she's the jailbait archetype.
Ah. Fair enough.
Though they start shipping, they're the canon ship, man. I'm perfectly fine with it.
Anyways,
now,
are you reading anything else?
Yes, I read a lot of shit.
You do. This is why I was worried.
Yes, I'm slightly into. As I started reading it once, I read like 60 pages of like the 400-page novel, and I was like, I'm going to bed because it's like 4 in the morning. Of the original novel. It's what the heck is it? It's called 40 Words for Sorrow. And it's a Canadian mystery novel. It's weird. It's like gritty and a little bit neo-noir as well, and kind of like styling. It's set in like rural Canada. It's like rural Ontario and
neo-noir in Canada. This is an odd.
It's a really in terms of like style. I got into it from the TV show called Cardinal. It's a Canadian TV show, and it's like fucking amazing. They only do like episodes.
Shouldn't that have been in the "What are you watching" part?
I haven't been watching it in a while.
Okay, fair enough.
And like the 3rd season's over as well. They only do like 6 or so episodes a season, once a year, and they adapt a book. And they've changed some things from the book, and I actually prefer the adaptation, which is weird. I'm usually a ginormous autist.
Purist, yes.
Yes. But the book it's not bad. Actually, it's good mystery, and the characters are good. The main character, Cardinal, he's got a lot of issues. He's a character with a lot of issues. His wife is severely depressed and is in like state care or like provincial care. She's in like a residential sort of house at the time, and his daughter is basically estranged from him. He's like in his 40s.
So he's got some stuff going on.
He's got some stuff going on, and he's been assigned to a partner who's French Canadian. There's a lot of racial tension in the book. You got the English Canadians, the French Canadians, and the natives. And there's like this is written in like late 90s, early 2000s.
This is the 3 main factions of Canada.
Yes, it is.
Basically.
In the open world game of Canada, those are the 3 factions you can choose from.
No. South Park brought it up best. It's an 8-bit game.
What are the factions?
There's not really proper factions more than anything. It's just everybody's Canada, and then there's bears.
That's
bears and
fair.
snakes, and I think badgers.
That's fair, I suppose. But it's a very good book. It's a very good book, and I've also been reading. I won't dwell on this too long because you mentioned that one of our few rules is no politics, no religion.
Yes.
I've been reading The City of God by St. Augustine, which is fucking fantastic. Though the man has a problem with digression. But
I digress multiple times. Or?
He very rarely mentions it. He manages to somehow find a way to like loop back around to his original topic.
He digresses without even mentioning it.
It's surreal. It is surreal in a way. Because it's also the abridged version because like an unabridged, it's like 1,400 pages or something. So there'll be like whole chapters cut, and they'll be like in italics. Chapter 25 to 33. He talks about this thing that we can summarize in a fucking sentence, and then I'll like loop back around. It's like, but I digress. It's like, oh my god, what the fuck? I need to ring
should
bells.
make a mention to that rule is that I'm fine with politics. Not so much politics. I'm fine with religion because there's a lot to religion you can look at from a neutral standpoint and just look at it. Talking about opinions and stuff.
Well, let's err on the side of caution, let's say.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we were talking about religious stuff to do with the SMT franchise and stuff like that.
Which is the franchise where you fight God a lot.
As much as I do have... I'm not going to get into it too heavily. I'm just going to say, much as I have some problems with both religion and politics, it's I find, at least in the case of religion, that if you look at some of the ones across the world, there is a lot of entertaining things, a lot of interesting things to learn about.
A lot of entertaining things is a very funny way to put it. You're not like... I get what you mean, but it's just a funny way to express your thoughts.
We're going to leave on that part there. Anything else you read, or is that the list?
That is everything that I can think of so far. Wait, right, I briefly skimmed through. I read a lot of books.
You do. There's nothing wrong with that. That's good. I should read more.
Thank you for encouraging me, Papa. I skimmed through the Majora's Mask and Link to the Past manga adaptations. Because I read Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, like, all in one sitting years and years ago on New Year's Eve, because I had nothing better to do. I was just like, this looks entertaining, and I just read through the entire thing. So I bought both of them, and I gotta say, I was very disappointed. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I think it might be a case of translation. I think I might have read a fan translation, which made it, like, it was like a serious, like, it made it far more serious and, like, it made the stories have more gravitas than they have even Majora's Mask. But then, like, when you read the translation they have, it feels like you're reading, like, Shonen Jump for, like, 8-year-olds. It's
interesting.
Like, it's really weird. I'm assuming, because, you know, the games are for kids. I'm assuming that was like, alright, let's go with the kid audience for the manga, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, that's it.
That's what you got. We're going to make the What Have You Been Listening To very short.
Yes.
It's not too hard in my case. It's actually, it's very hard to pin anything down because I listen to everything. I listen to just about everything.
Basically.
So what I listen to on any given day is a set thing. I don't know if we'll keep this in for future ones because I feel like it's kind of a...
It's a wishy-washy thing.
It's a wishy-washy thing, and I think that we should just go straight on to what have we been working on. I
do have one thing to say I've been listening to.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Because I last night...
Communist Manifesto?
No.
Okay.
I was about to inject politics into it. My God, I was about to say things. Anyways, Clayton wants me to toe the line or I'm going to get sent to the gulag. Anyways,
Comrade!
Remember that time we did Russian accents constantly at work?
Continue your thought, boy.
Anyways, last night I discovered that the last Persona live concert from 2017 was uploaded to YouTube. Previously, the only way you could find it was to go on Nico Nico, and that's a pain looking up hiragana and copying and pasting and trying to translate things because I don't speak Japanese. So now it's on YouTube, and that's fucking amazing. So I stayed up until 2:30 to watch the whole 3-hour video, and it was great. And I love the Persona soundtrack, and they sound fantastic live. Everybody,
all of them have amazing music. To be fair.
Except for Persona 4.
No, 4 has good music too. No.
There's a couple good tracks. There's not that many.
It's
nowhere near as good as 3 and 5.
We ain't getting into it.
What have we been working on in our spare time?
Well, I already know what I'm going to talk about, so why don't you get yours out first?
What the fuck have I been doing?
Have you been doing anything?
Not really.
What are you doing with your life, Taylor? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully in the middle of a woods in a hermitage where no one will bother me and I can sit in silence all alone. Anyways, despite the fact I don't know Japanese, I've been attempting to learn hiragana. Duolingo is very good, and I hope the owl breaks into my house tonight and forces me at gunpoint to learn a few more hiragana.
Otherwise, that's all you got going on?
I've also started my own YouTube channel, just a fuck aroundy bit. And I recently used my capture card that I bought because apparently Clayton's is too cheap in Chinese, even for mine.
Yeah, mine. Well, I mean, I'm sorry. If you go lowest bidder, you get what you pay for. But to be fair, that thing has been lasting me very well for like multiple years.
It's astonishingly well for what, $40?
$40-$50, something like that. Yeah. So.
And I have no interest. I will not reveal it to the world until the time is right. I told Clayton at work, and he looked shocked, like I just told him that Adachi did nothing wrong.
The betrayal was there, but I understand his reasonings for it now. And the fact being is that when he's ready to reveal it, GeekGamerAlert will provide links to the channel. So for that, I encourage you to, when he does
enjoy drunken shitposting.
Yeah, could be all sorts of things.
Drunken shitposting mostly.
You don't know what he'll do when he's drunk and shitposting.
I don't. Mostly just be really depressing.
Oh, lovely! Please tell our TITFAH viewers more so they can come and watch your amazing videos. I'm gonna be very depressing. Christ. Is there anything else?
That's it. Tell me.
Alrighty, so for my part there, and I think this is a good way to end the thing too, is talk about this.
Yep.
Is for the next coming months, now that we're finally coming into the warmer weather seasons, spring, summer, and such like that.
Hopefully, unless it fucking snows in May like it likes to do up here.
It might. I've heard somebody say it's supposed to snow on Monday. I don't know, but it's around these parts where we live. Snow is just a thing that happens no matter what time of year it is. It could be the hottest day of summer and it will snow.
It's like taxes. Death, snow, and taxes.
Yep. Around here there is only... my mother has a way of putting how the seasons work. It's like winter, lesser winter, summer, and then more winter or something like that. I don't know how it goes forever.
She's not wrong.
Mm-hmm. She's a wise woman. So anyways, going into the warmer seasons, I'm always looking into, and you're helping sometimes, about ways to expand the channel and try to think of new and better things, better content and such like that. And of course, I'm always open to suggestions, stuff like that from our 30-something viewers. But
variable
viewers. But going from there, I've always been thinking about trying to do some sketches and such like that. I feel like we have the right kind of foolish humor to pull off sketches properly.
Foolish humor is a good way to describe the attitude of a drunken shit poster, but sober.
So a sober shit poster.
But we act like we're drunk.
A sober, drunken, sober... No, this is too many layers.
It's like an onion or an ogre.
I have a few plans that I am not willing to reveal as of yet, much like you with your YouTube channel. As of yet. But I will be maybe revealing at a later date once I get closer to it. Otherwise,
and also because plans could just radically fucking change.
Oh,
God
yeah.
knows.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up for anything, so...
Why'd you turn southern?
Did I?
You turned very southern there for like 5 seconds.
Don't want to get anybody's hopes up for something.
No, you sound like a fine southern gentleman.
Oh, I say, boy!
Sir, that's Foghorn Leghorn. That's not a...
Hey, are you implying that Foghorn Leghorn is not a fine southern gentleman?
Quite right. So this name.
Sir, I say, sir, we'll be dueling at pistols at dawn. That was horrible. Anyways.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to work on some sketch stuff. I think coming up here, we've been having some ideas floating around for a while. We're gonna get that out there and try it out, see how people go. I mean, we've already done some sketches. Yes. I mean, we've done a few where
the Halloween one was
the Halloween ones. They're the untitled videos where I enjoyed those. Those were really fun to make.
Those were very fun.
We did a few NPs. Hell, the very first video that we did, the first time you were on the channel, had a little sketch at the end of it. And we did that. We recaptured the magic. We remade that on my
1 year anniversary.
The 1 year anniversary of you being on the channel. And going from that, it's I feel like as long as we're smart about doing it properly and don't get sloppy on it, we can still pull off some good quality. One idea I have, I'm just giving it a tenuous title, is memes to video or something like that.
Yes, I think that I think you came up with another title, but
I had another title, but like it's basically
it's been months.
Yes,
since you first proposed this idea to me.
The idea being is I need to find good memes to put into this situation. Putting a meme to video is like this is like a couple second video, right?
It's capturing magic in a bottle is one thing.
Exactly. That's what we do here at GeekGamerAlert. We capture magic in a bottle. So that all the masses may feel it.
I was gonna say, so that way nobody can have it, and then we can have it to ourselves.
Nobody. But yeah, that's basically all the things I wanted to say on there. I mean, like I say, always looking for new and exciting ways to do things. Started off just doing games and such like that, but I feel like we can do more, kind of thing like that. So
what you're saying is that you feel like Hitler. There's always room to expand.
True. I'm also a really bad artist.
Oh my god! So what you're saying is that we're literally Hitler.
Well, I don't know about you.
I'm a really bad artist, and I have room to expand.
Is that why you keep eating?
That's why we've been fapping. Are we going to start talking about the 4 now?
No, we're good. I think we're going to leave it on that. Hey, what do you know? It's only been 4 minutes past an hour, so we're doing better this time.
I told ya! I fucking told ya!
One of these times we're going to be right and not have enough fucking stuff.
We almost did with the first one with the Sailor Moon. I managed to extenuate it a little bit.
You kind of flip-flop for a moment there, a couple times. Okay. Well, I hope you fellows have enjoyed this. I don't know where this accent came from. It just popped out of my voice, and this is how it is now, I suppose.
I feel we should mention that Clayton has designated these two young Shotas as our avatars.
Shotas being a Japanese word for young men, basically.
Yeah, I don't think you need to explain that to our weeb audience.
Not all the audience is a weeb. Your grandma watches.
She hasn't watched these, apparently, considering some of your reviews.
It's fair enough.
But anyways, I'm Shinji.
Which is, let me see here.
Which is this lad here.
This guy here.
What? No, I don't like this.
Geneva, Shinji.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
And then your Negi.
Springfield.
Yes, Negi.
Negi, no. Negi Springfield, the young boy wizard who also teaches at high school. We won't get any further into that. I don't know if I need to be...
Which is...
There's nothing lewd.
Not
100% lewd.
It's fairly lewd.
It's anime. There's always going to be some level...
There's a fair bit of fan service in the manga, Clayton. I think... Have you forgotten? There's quite a bit.
It's all clean. It's very clean.
It's all clean? How the fuck does that work?
It's not the type of fan service that shows all things.
Okay, I guess it's only softcore.
There you go.
Which is very depressing.
It's not even softcore.
No,
not even that far.
It's
not what I'm there for, anyways.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure.
Because I know that when I come to
Do
Ava, pun unintended.
Do you want me to get into a rant about Negama? Because I will, boy.
We'll save that. We'll have to do an episode where we just rant for like an hour each about our favorite anime.
Half an hour each. That way we can make a full hour.
Or we can do a 2-part episode and stretch it out. So we
no,
don't have to
God,
record another episode next week.
No more copping out.
Fuck.
Hope you enjoyed it, everybody. We'll see y'all next week, and be good to each other. Bye-bye.